Hey, what's up, everybody out there? And you too. This is Milltime Gamer. I got Mrs.Milltime right beside me here.
I'll put it on my phone.
Yeah, yeah. I gotta set up my stream. Just,
I can do that on mine. Can
yeah, you got.
I? Why can't I do it on mine?
Oh, you got.
They don't need to see me.
All right. All right. I don't even know really. I haven't done a whole lot of research on this game, other than to know it's like a text adventure, something. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess, as we go. What's up, JTTV? Thanks for coming out. GG's. Alright.
Barry D14.
Yeah, Barry. What's up, Barry?
See my shoulder?
What up? We got me and Mrs. Milltime.
No, we're
Yeah.
not.
And, we're just chilling. We're drinking some wine. And we wanted to play this new scary game. It's Werewolf the Apocalypse, Heart of the Forest. And we want to try it out. I don't know much about it, but we'll see what's up. Okay, start a party. No, because we're pretty much just focused on this game for right now. Sorry, Jay. We'll do it tomorrow, man. So, yeah, I appreciate everybody for coming out, man. Where's Mill Jr.? Mill Jr.'s sleeping, man.
Get in
He's 6 years old.
there and part
Yeah, yeah, there you go. That's Mill time. This is Mill time. Here, I'll slide over a little bit.
So I don't need to be the center focused. There
No, but I'm just saying so we can both fit in
Okay,
here.
we're in.
Because we're both doing this.
We're in.
This is a dual stream, Mrs. Milltime and Milltime. And,
I gotta close those clothes. That's
right.
bugging me.
Huh?
Moving these.
Okay. And so, yeah, we're just chilling. What's up, Mill? It's been a while. Yeah, thanks, Jade. Thanks for coming out. We're just playing a new, different, scary kind of game. We're drinking some wine, me and Mrs. Milltime, and we're just chilling. So thanks for coming out. So yeah, we're gonna start the game here and see what's up. Thanks for coming out. Welcome. All right, character sheet, journal, the square, back, confirm, move cursor. All right, pause. All right. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think it. I don't know how in depth it is, but I want. All right, prologue is premonition.
Start the chapter.
Right?
The chapter.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. All right, journal, new entry added. This game is about rage and how it helps us do things that need to be done, as well as things we later regret. Sometimes both. How do we feel about that?
Middle. I'm okay with anger when it's useful.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that one. Alright. Your rage is balanced, so you're critical and analytical type. That's okay. There's no right path here, just your decisions and their consequences. That's funny. Just your decisions and the consequences. Let's start already. We have a story to tell. I get it. My decisions need to be fair and just. Let's just follow the path and see where it takes us. What do you think? The first, second, or third?
Second.
Huh?
Second.
Second? Okay. Alright, fair and just. Alright. I got an analytical point.
Forest, the woods are full of stars.
The woods are full of stars. They flicker, come closer, run away. They want me to chase them, to play hide and seek. I hunt, I observe, I hide. Huh?
I observe.
I observe? Okay. Ooh,
see,
damn.
Then you got other points too, see?
Right, right.
I watch as they dance around the tree trunks, float up in the gusts of the wind that shiver through the branches, disappear among leaves. There are words in their dance, but I don't understand them, not yet. Then they bunch up and fly toward me like an arrow. Rushing down, they're soon upon me, but just before the spear of light pierces my breast, they disappear. It's the dark and the night return. Balance. In the darkness I feel tangled roots of stories keeping the forest alive, and I hear the spirits asking me to judge my enemies. I open my eyes, and then I wake up.
And then I wake up. Ooh, see, that's what I'm saying. I like the story. It sounds like a good story.
The graphics are I like the...
Right, I feel like it, you know...
Cold and alone, confused out from my eyes, the forest around me is thick, dark, and reeks of decay to such an extent it's hard to breathe. The smell vast
Weeks
I
of
don't know.
Decay. I recognize. I'd be like, I recognize the forest.
That's so far
Yeah.
middle school. I know this place. I've been dreaming about this forest since I was a child.
The tree trunks wrapped tightly in dark-leaved ivy are covered in ripples, lichen, where the vines haven't taken the hold. Thorny, leafless bushes at their base are overrun with nettles. The fungi radiate with a ghoulish, sickly green light. Dark sponge-like mushrooms cling to the fallen trees. What it's gonna be like? I try to breathe. Hey, what's up, Smitty?
Take a deep breath and follow the goodness that it's not the forest that smells so foul to me. I look down and see my hands are covered in dark substance. I'm naked, a sticky, glistening film of liquid clinging to my skin. I can feel it on my face, in my hair, blood. What is happening is me, real. I'm alert.
Okay.
Oh, so we killed somebody?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. So what do you think? What should I pick? I'm alert. I'm alert. See, I just got a spiritual point.
Nature is never quiet. The leaves rustle in the wind. Small creatures scuttle in the undergrowth. There's a whisper. I don't understand what it means, but the words resonate in my head. Garu, who said that? There's a severed head in front of me. Some choices are hard to make, and they will strain me.
Told you.
I wince and I touch it, or I'm going to sit. If you wince, you lose one. If I'm sick, you lose three.
I don't know. This is kind of like a Dungeons and Dragons kind of game.
I wince and I touch it. Is this all this is? Like, is there any action?
I don't think so. I think it's just like all like a, like a story.
This is all we have to read this entire time.
That's what I told you.
Oh my goodness.
Told you.
Okay, overcoming my disgust, I gently touch its wet hair and watch as the head topples over. Balance. The face is contorted, the eyes bulging, the mouth open, as though the head were still struggling for air. I balk because I recognize who it is. And then eyes open in the darkness. The enemy, or who is it?
Yeah, I'd be like, who is it, right?
I can see their silhouettes, the shades of jet black against the darkness. They smell of fur and moss and bloody earth. Massive creatures with horns, with antlers. Their eyes burn like small fiery windows into hell. I look at them and something wakes inside of me. Are you sad?
Yeah, sadness. I'll go with the balanced one. What's up, Gaming DX Saver? Hi, Mrs.Milltime. Been a while.
Yeah.
Hey.
Been a while. They tell me stories of their lost battles and dying hopes, and I sing with sorrow. I sit and listen and cry with them. Then I swear to punish those who have wronged them. In a moment of clarity, I almost understand what the forest wants for me.
The forest wants for me, and then I wake up.
Yeah,
boom, and then you wake. Boom.
Like, you got to be able to play something, right?
I don't know exactly. Maybe. I don't know. I felt like, I don't know, chapter 1. So that was the prologue.
I hope there's actual gaming.
Hey, welcome everybody to the stream. Welcome DX Saver, Dolly, everybody, man. Thanks for coming out. Jade Cook, Roxa, appreciate it. Fear My Orbital, by the way. Thanks, Smitty. Yeah, thank you, everybody who came out, man. Thank you guys, Robert. Be like, what up? Everybody's like, hi, Mrs.Milltime.
What up?
What up?
I feel like that's the classic Milltime response.
Yeah, we're just chilling on a Saturday night, just trying to play, scary game. So, see what's up. I don't know. I bought this game, so I kind of wanted to just, see what's up.
Alright, start the chapter.
Alright, start the chapter.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like a whole story with people and everything.
I wake up. I jerked upright, irritated. My neck was stiff. The movement sent a sudden sharp wave of discomfort through my body. I wasn't in the forest anymore. I was in a bus. The sun streaming through the windows was making it hard to see. The girl next to me was touching my shoulder, disturbed. Do I push her away, or do I say what happened?
I'd probably just say what happened, right?
Yeah. What happened? Overcome the urge to push her away was hard. Overcoming your rage strained your willpower. She looked at me concerned. You were crying in your sleep. I blinked. The memory of the dream was still there, and the wet stench of decay. I looked outside. I was glad I wasn't alone.
Okay, so that was her, and like she was dreaming on the bus or whatever. Okay, I got you. Alright.
We have no willpower anymore.
What?
We lost all of our willpower.
Aw, dang it. I looked outside. I was glad I wasn't alone. I looked outside, right?
Yeah.
That's probably safe.
I must have bit my lip. I saw it as I ran my tongue over my teeth. The forest looked outside the window, was watching me. The girl next to me shook her head. Thank God we're almost there. Her name was Anaya. We met a couple weeks earlier on orientation day. She was from Norway, a tall, broad-shouldered and calm person who wore her long hair in braids. Somehow I managed to talk her into this crazy field trip across the land of my ancestors. We were there to study medicine, and she seemed excited.
Okay.
And
what do you think?
I mean, she is sympathetic, so if you choose that one, she's gonna go along with you.
Alright, I'll do that one.
Anaya reaches into her backpack and took out 2 apples. I'm really happy you decided to come here, she said. Yeah, I said, offering her some of my kavanasi dried meaty sausages that were so much better than the original Polish ones back in the U.S. Come on, I don't want to. I was glad.
You're better at reading. And
I was glad Anaya had decided to come with me, and I had problems keeping friends around and really needed one. I did some searching.
The night I talked more to me.
She said from over her phone, and this place is amazing, the last primordial forest in Europe. What about Nightbot?
Huh? Night, it said night.
Okay.
I want to grab my wine real quick.
It sounds like we're on train tracks. Doesn't really sound like a bus. Oh, maybe a bus. Alright. Our summer language course was starting in a few weeks, and I managed to talk Anaya into skipping the tours of concentration camps, well, good, and old churches, and visiting, I don't even know, national park with me instead. So far, it's beautiful, she said, her eyes smiling, but why are we here again? Yeah, well, good question. That's why are we here? Why are we there? There being, I don't even know how to say that. A small village in northeast Poland near the border with Belarus. It was famous for its national park and last European bison. And mine's gone. And according to the quick web search, occasionally tensions between far-right troublemakers and the local Belarusian community. The most honest answer would have been, because I've been dreaming about the forest ever since I can remember, but people didn't understand when I said things like that. I looked into her eyes. Keep it simple, I told her as much as I could right now. I don't think she needs to know everything yet.
I like that answer. Good answer.
I wanted to see the forest. I heard it was a must. That wasn't technically a lie. When I was little, my grandfather told me stories about an ancient forest full of wonders and the wolves that lived there in it. Remember, she was running her across the street. It was all. I got away from the part of my family before my mom took me, ran away, and cut off all contact with my dad. But I remembered the stories well, and I remembered the name of the forest. I don't know. This will always be our home, my grandfather used to say.
This will always be our home. Cheers.
Cheer. I have an empty glass to cheers you.
Cheers. Alright, I'm waiting for her to respond. Silent for a moment.
I think it's great that you come from such a magical place, she smiled. The last ancient forest in Europe, thousands of years old. I wasn't sure if I was fond of that magic, but it was hard to ignore. And that was precisely why I needed to do something about my future, the damn forest, and my weird-ass family.
My weird-ass family. I had a clear
Who
goal.
doesn't have a weird-ass family?
Right.
There's always something.
Alright.
Are you reading the chat?
Yeah, I'm reading chat. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Hey, MC Gaming says what's up. DX Saber says anyway, I gotta go, do some errands. Have a good day, you guys. Glenn Bixley says hello. That's Glenn Bixley is Bluey's dad.
It's who?
Bluey's dad.
That's Glenn?
Yeah, that's Glenn.
Hi, Glenn.
Yeah, that's Bluey's dad. Then Dolly's like, I gotta get going. Wine, yeah, Dolly, wine is awesome. Gotta love the wine. Winos. And then we got Robert, says hi, Mrs.Milltime. Yeah.
Okay. wasn't there by mistake. I planned this trip for months, get with a clear goal in mind.
We need willpower.
I had to face the forest, I had to learn the truth about my roots, or I had to figure out my destiny.
We need willpower, I think. What do you want to do?
I had to face...
I learn the truth about my roots.
But I feel like going in the middle is just keeping us balanced. I feel like
I had to figure out my destiny.
I had to face the forest.
Gotta do the forest. The whole mystery about the forest.
My dreams, my grandfather's stories, the fact my family was from there was just too many coincidences. The forest wanted something from me, and it was time to find out. I was never one to sit idly by as things happened to me. Ooh, see? We got our willpower impaired. We dropped to 0. Oh, cool. Okay, oops. Looked like an overexposed photo of a village with the contrast turned all the way up. The sun wasn't just shining, it was shouting at the earth and everything, the trees, grass, and wooded houses. The fences seemed weathered. Everything except the shadows. They were sharp as though they were freshly painted with the darkest of inks. And they moved. Oh, snap. For a second I could have sworn they moved, but I realized that it was just a black cat walking down the sidewalk. What a coinkydink. When it saw me, it stopped in its tracks.
I watched it. Decided to ignore it. Tried to pet it.
Well, do you think I tried to pet it? It's going to up our willpower? Because obviously we have none left.
What do you think's gonna up our willpower?
Oh, there's dogs barking and people in the town.
What do you want to do?
I want to try and pet it for some reason.
Pet it.
Nothing.
You're a kitty kitty.
You're a kitty kitty, I said, squatting and reaching toward the cat, and I flashed. It swatted my hand away with its paw, draining a few drops of blood. I yelped. Hey, Anaya said, looking at me surprised. Didn't you say your friend would be waiting for us? But he wasn't there, and the cat was still staring at me. Let's go. Anaya put on her backpack. I'm tired and really need to find a toilet. Okay.
What's up, Xander?
Sup, Xander? I didn't know what to do. I was too tired and distracted to think clearly. My friend was nowhere in sight. Well, the cat's her friend. How much you want to bet?
Probably. So what? High grade or what? Dog, but the name was just probably the second one.
Yeah. Let's just wait a little longer. I said I don't have his number and we really need to meet up with him. His name was Bartek. I met him online while researching. The man knew everything there was to know about local history. I asked him to look around for local stories about the forest. I hope he's found something. I really need to pee. And I said I was like a 5-year-old and not a very bright one. I wasn't going anywhere. I made my best puppy dog eyes. I caved.
What do you want to do?
I mean, if you cave, it's going to make her happier, but then...
What about if she's got to pee?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if
What
you...
do you want to do?
Well, I don't care. You pick.
Yeah, but I don't want to go high rage, right?
I don't want to go high rage. I would either do 2 or 3.
I'll go 2.
Let's just wait a few more minutes. Please, pretty please.
It's important.
I made my best puppy dog eyes. It's important. Anaya just looked at me and walked away. I grabbed my backpack and timidly followed her. Too tired to argue. I had a few hotels and hostels, but the preferred form of accommodations was bed and breakfast. That's where we stayed. Well, good. Hostels. Probably not the best
hostel,
for 2 young college students.
The old hostel. Let's go. Welcome to the stream. What's up, Dally? See you later. Have a good one, Dally. Big ups to Dally.
I found one that was nice, clean, and that had good reviews. We had a room on the 2nd floor with a huge window and a great view of the forest. We dropped off our stuff and freshened up a bit. Maybe we should have waited for your friend, and I said, concerned. I shrugged. I'll find him sooner or later. Before you go, check out your character sheet and journal. Press respectively square button, blah, blah, blah.
Just info about Maya, her background, personality, gold and so on. You also check your friends and who your enemies are, etc.
It was a quaint tourist town.
But I had other things in mind.
Lay of the land. I had to get a clear goal in mind. The forest was calling me and ready to answer the call. Anaya went with you.
Forest I dream about,
That's a pretty far distance if you don't know your way around.
Yeah, so where are we going first?
Where do you want to go? So you have no willpower, and if it's a physical thing, I feel like you...
Yeah, but Anaya went with us, so I don't know if I kill her by accident or something.
So then stay in town?
Yeah, probably stay in the town.
Okay.
Maybe this area some stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe gain some willpower that way.
Serendipity. As we walked through town, Anaya nudged me and pointed out a tall, broad-shouldered, freckled guy standing at the bus stop with a lost expression in his face. I remember his face from pictures on social media. It was the friend who stood me up earlier. Still angry at him, I greeted him. Don't be angry at him. Something could have happened. Bartek, I asked, getting his attention. Maya, why are you doing here? He blurted with a surprise when he saw me. I'm sure you were coming on a later bus. We started walking and talking. His accent was broad and East European. I flooded him with questions, and I liked him. I caught him looking at me. Sure. I mean, why not? I don't see what that's...
You know, some people like when you ask them questions.
Luckily, he loved talking about his home, so when I flooded him with questions, he kindly obliged. He talked about how the village had become a tourist destination, how logging business moved to a nearby town. What? What? Why are you laughing?
Well, because Andrew said, like, plot twist, Milltime had a doppelganger.
Oh, that does not look like you. And how the trains had stopped coming and the local station had been turned into a hotel for wealthy foreign hunters. Dozens and dozens of bison statues scattered around the village watched us indifferently. We walked along the only street in the village nearing the center. If you call it that, every house had a garden and the air was dense with the fragrance of flowers. So did you find anything linking me to the forest? I asked. Bartek shook his head. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Sorry. He was avoiding my eyes. See, he knows something. A trickle of sweat ran down his temple. He was lying straight to my face. What the bleep, man? I threw my arms in the air. You wrote me a few days ago and said that you had something, but he clammed up. You know what? I think you should have dropped it. I stopped. Oh no.
What are you doing?
I don't think you want to go high rage, do you? I mean,
I don't want to go high.
especially in front of your friend who doesn't really know anything yet.
Right, I probably don't use all my charm.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Put a hand on his chest.
I turned to Bartek and looked at him right in the eyes and put his hands on his chest. Oh. I really had no plan after that part, so I panicked and felt a sudden urge to do something unnecessary and over the top. So I kissed him. Why would you kiss him? I looked at him deep in the eyes, and I swallowed my pride and just asked. Well, we're already at 0 willpower, so it's not going to help us to do the third one.
Yeah, right.
I looked at him deep in the eyes, connect with him, have a soul connection.
Alright, soul connection.
I leaned toward him and looked him deep in the eyes and hoped he'd see how important was to me. He just blanched and jerked away. I didn't give up.
I didn't give up. I feel like we're about to get into like the meat, you know, the meat potatoes.
I know, but I wish there was some action.
Right. Well, I'm sure there's gonna be some action.
Something. I mean, werewolves. Tell me what you found, I asked, not giving up. The game tracks your decisions and how she approaches problems. They will accumulate and gradually reveal what kind of person she is, deep in her heart. The story changes to reflect her personality. Well, he brushed his forehead with the back of his hand. I did ask. I started with the old people here. I told them that my friend from the States was looking for our roots and wanted to know about the place her family came from. You know the drill. At first, people were very, receptive. I waited for the other shoe to drop, and then I mentioned your name. He shook his head. Oh, snap. I urged him, don't rage it yet. You need to save your rage.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to do rage.
Bartek, no dramatic pauses. Please, I urged him. The tension's killing me. One of the old men here told me to go to bleep, and the other spat on the ground. Oh, goodness.
Wow.
And his wife crossed herself.
Holy crap.
For a moment, he looked younger and smaller, and then my own grandmother told me to stop asking. She said something else as well. Well, yeah, what'd she tell us, Bartek? Don't keep it in the goods, man. What are you doing? What? I asked. Well, of course, that's what you asked. She told me to pray for you.
She told me to pray.
Suddenly, the sweet golden afternoon wasn't so sweet and golden anymore. It piqued my interest. I want to know who was I? I like that. Who was I? Okay. I knew there was something weird and twisted connecting me and my family to the forest. I could feel the shiver run down my spine. We walked in silence, but my mind was in overdrive. People didn't want to talk, and that could only mean one thing. I was on the right track. Yeah, you were.
That's a willpower thing.
Yeah, we'll get one. Woo woo. Up in the willpower. People started talking about it. My pulse quickened, and I tensed up like a hound that smelled blood. I was on the right track. Every time you learn something significant and you get closer to your goal, you'll gain willpower. I'm ready to see some sights.
Yeah, we're doing good.
Yeah. Time to see the sights. I nodded at Bartek. Show me everything this place has to offer. We walked through the village, bathed in the sharp rays of the summer sun. It was a lazy afternoon, disturbed by the occasional passing car, throwing up clouds of dust that hung in the air. What? Long after the vehicle was gone.
What's up, it's Salty? Salty came by, said hi. It's coming out, Salty. What up?
What up?
Yeah.
This is a new change, seeing you without your headphones on.
Yeah. With everything, yeah. Right? Yeah, me and my wife, we just wanted to do like a cool, like a cool girl stream together.
It was a lazy afternoon, disturbed by the only occasional passing car throwing up clouds of dust that hung in the air long after the vehicle was gone, and I was walking close to Bartek, asking him about every detail in the village. People were relaxing or working in their yards, dogs were barking, and every cat we passed froze to look at us, because the cats know that you're something. I noticed some unfriendly stares. She's going to be like a shapeshifter. She's a werewolf. Stares from people to not too many to enough to notice. I felt if she says that, then she's going to rage out, and that's not good because you're going to lose your thing. So why the stares? Or... Well, we would hope so.
I mean, we know, but she don't know, right?
Don't people like strangers here? I asked, still feeling the angry gaze of some random women on my back. What's everyone's deal? Bartek sighed. They don't, he admitted. Xenophobic jerks. I was curious why. I would go curious why. I mean, I don't think it's just because you're a tourist. I think they know who you are. Bartek, they don't, he admitted. Why? I asked candidly. It's complicated. Bartek scratched his neck, embarrassed by the topic. There's a small conflict around the forest, It's attracting some weird people, activists, reporters, bored rich kids, he said, as though his dad didn't own multiple business, people like that, and they're getting on the locals' nerves. But should we notice her friend frowning because maybe she's picking up on something? Anaya looked skeptical. I looked the conflict up online, she said, and it really didn't look so small. It looked pretty important, actually. For a moment, Bartek looked like he was at a loss for words. Well, you're not the only one of those crazies in your life, almost a local, he smiled. So what would you like to see in the village of your ancestors? He spread his arms as if to show me all the splendor the village had to offer.
There you go, what do you suggest? The village, alright.
So,
village center, cats, can watch it, walk over the street, friends attention, family graves, history of the past, or lost hopes, what is that, old cemetery, being a railway, village center?
I don't know.
It's pretty crazy everywhere.
I don't care whatever you pick. I'm good with.
Alright, what about the old cemetery? That
Go ahead.
sounds pretty creepy.
Yeah, maybe I'll find some
Maybe find
relatives.
some
Oh, it's raining.
matters of the soul.
We have quite a few churches here, Bartek explained as we walked down the road. 2 Orthodox, 1 Catholic, and even 1 Baptist church, she said, as though it was something uncommon. So I asked about it, where's the synagogue, and it seemed like a lot of churches. Was there a synagogue, sorry. Couldn't they just all use one building, I asked. Oh, I never thought of it. He paused. I guess they could have, but you know, most of these churches have been here for some time. So we still use them, and we don't have tradition of using the same building for different denominations. So it is what it is. Any Lutheran churches? Asked Anaya. I don't think so. Bartek shook his head as he led us to a small wooden church surrounded by a cemetery. Anyway, even though we all have these churches, there's only one cemetery. The church was Orthodox, but the graves were a mismatch of styles and faiths: Catholic, Orthodox, atheist, everyone resting together. I don't think he does approve.
Well, yeah, it kind of sounds silly about it.
Bartek looked as he didn't fully approve of such an arrangement. And what kind of person are you? I asked, crossing my arms. Bartek blinked. Me? Catholic, of course. Of course. He looked at the cemetery, and for a moment he seemed lost in thought. All of my family lies here, he said. I mean the ones that are dead. Hey, what do you think? What do you think happens when you die? I like to think there's something fair, like the idea of judgment, you know. Mused, maybe you look at your life and finally... What?
Battle Cry. Battle Cry. It was like, hey, Bill, Mrs. Mills, hope you guys are doing good.
Hey, Battle Cry. Maybe you look at your life and finally know why you were doing the things you did, and all that came of it would make sense. Bartek nodded. Yeah, it would. I like to believe it does. He looked over the cemetery fence. Well, anyway, this is it. The spiritual heart. And we can go see something else if you like. See, I don't think you want. She wants to see. She wants to go, and he doesn't.
So I gotta do the high ratings, right?
You have to, because if you lose your last willpower.
I can't lose my last willpower.
Yep.
Alright, I got it.
Okay, we're doing it. Oh.
That's getting crazy.
What the bleep, dude?
He's like, what the fuck?
We're here to find my ancestors, I growled at him. Maya behaved, but Naya was clearly not amused. Bartek shifted uncomfortably. I don't think that's a good idea. He's hiding something.
Well, why?
Something. What? Why? I turned to him, surprised. I mean, I told you, people have weird reactions. Maybe it's better to leave it alone. What are we waiting for? Naya smiled at him.
He mumbled something and led us through the labyrinth of graves to the far end of the cemetery.
We walked through the narrow walkways between the graves. Bartek's pace was painfully slow, but I had no choice to follow him, gritting my teeth, cursing under my breath as he stopped every few steps and looked around. At one point, he threw me a condemning look. We're in a graveyard. Maya, have some respect, will you? He barked. Before I had no chance to answer, we saw a woman, tall, broad-shouldered, long legs, with gray dreadlocks pinned to the ground of her head. She must have been here in late 40s or early 50s. She was marching through the walkway with fury in her eyes. Bartek quickly... Oh, is it Grandma? No. Quickly stepped between the graves to get out of her way.
I walked down and
I mean, if you...
I got you, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, we'll go high range.
I kept going, and she just kept going, and inevitably we bumped into each other. Hey, watch your bleeping step, she growled.
Stand back.
Or you can still apologize. I don't think it's going to take willpower. Sorry, I answered. Taking a step back, she just snorted and went on her way. Uh-oh. Oh, her name's Olga. Who was that? I asked, watching the old woman leave. Bartek winced. Oh, that's just... Oh, bells. That's just Olga. She's a local activist. She left. She was 18 or something and returned a few years back with the notion that she was going to change this place. Continued for the far corner, and seemingly forgotten. Covered in moss, there was a lonely grave. It was damaged. How much you want to bet it's one of her relatives? The tombstone was broken deliberately. Someone had obviously smashed it with a hammer. The plaque was also damaged. Someone had tried to scratch out the name, but the letters were sure visible. There was a circle of salt around the grave. I'm so sorry. Bartek sighed. I didn't want you to see that.
What superstition suspicious bullshit. I need to know who did this. Was it because of me? Oh, for fuck's sake. People are so stupid. It's almost ridiculous. She looked at me. I guess it happens once a month or so around the full moon.
Anaya squatted and looked at the plaque. I can't read it. All the letters are all wrong. She glanced at Bartek. Is it in Russian? Belarusian, the same letters, different language. He explained there were a lot of them before the war.
I looked at Bartek, hoping for some context. Bartek put his hand in his pocket. So you don't know anything about your dad's side of things? Yes, but whatever happened at least 7 years ago. Someone still never served.
Remember what? I pushed him. These people have been dead for almost hundreds of years. What fucking harm could they do 6 feet under? Hey, he yelled. Are you insane? I haven't done anything, for F's sake. He straightened his t-shirt. Did she push him? Oh, I pushed him. I missed that. Let's go. I shouldn't have brought you here in the first place. Girl, you need therapy. And Naya shot me, disapproving. Oh, no. You can't.
Dang it. I messed up.
There wasn't much left, and I looked at the grave. I feel like she needs to look. I mean, we've come this far. I feel like you need to look.
Alright.
I looked at the grave for the last time. My family's name looked strange, written in unfamiliar Belarusian letters. See? As we were leaving, I was thinking. So look in the wrong place. I wanted to find what connected me to the forest, but so far, found nothing. Must have looking in the wrong place. I think we need to go to the forest.
Dang it, I messed up though. I feel like I shouldn't have pushed him like that.
The day was hot and beautiful, yet I couldn't stop thinking about the devastated grave. I think you knew we need to go to the Can we go to the forest now or no?
No, we can't go to the forest.
Oh, dang it.
We gotta do this crap.
Okay, new friends.
You picked the city, so we're doing the city now.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going.
And now we're pissing off the dude.
Well, Bartek is kind of a jerk. Bartek wants to show us the most picturesque spots in the area, said Anaya. Maybe that's not the right word, he said, frowning. Well, it's not like it's beautiful, but it has, you know, an atmosphere, a climate. Ambiance, Anaya said at the same moment as I, and we laughed. Ambiance, Bartek smiled, visibly relieved. I meant ambiance.
Thanks, Bodo the Gamer. Appreciate it, man. Nice to see you and Mrs.Milltime.
Oh, Bodo.
Yeah, Bodo.
I didn't understand that.
My wife's got her phone doing weird stuff. That's funny. What's up about well-known Trav? Great Scary Game is a hello neighbor. Yeah, hello neighbor. I don't know, man. I don't know. That looks a little weird to me. Not much. What about you guys? Yeah, just chilling. Salty, just, you know, trying out a new game, man. This came out about a week and a half ago, and it's supposed to be kind of, you know, spooky. Yeah, me and Mrs.Milltime just wanted to drink some wine and do, you know, kind of like a dual stream. Thanks for coming out, everybody. Really appreciate it. Thanks for showing the support for me and Mrs.Milltime.
Someone threw Xander's phone. So sorry I was gone. Someone threw my phone at people. Sorry, Xander.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We ended up on some abandoned tracks.
Yeah,
Wow.
So we're on abandoned track. Oh, yeah, this is the railway, right?
Uh-huh.
We still have the village behind it. End up on something railway. First place to meet a serial killer.
Well, yeah. But with the slow winding river a stone's throw away and the long drooping branches of the old trees shading an unused railroad, this place was really picturesque. I like how they used a different font. The bees buzzed around us, the birds sang like there was no tomorrow, the fragrance of herbs hung thick in the air, my head was spinning. I'm bursting with energy. I remembered a song, Why Was the Track Abandoned? I wonder if you remember a song, because I feel like it connects you. Oh no. Okay, we got inspiring.
No, I don't want to piss off the guy.
No, please don't piss off Bartek anymore.
No.
And when we were walking and enjoying the sun, half-forgotten song came back to me. I must have heard it as a child, and it stuck with me.
I started humming. Yeah, 'cause I need the willpower.
The doctor started humming and working on it until the melody felt right. After a while, Anaya joined me and just walked humming and playing with that tune. Bartek just laughed. Trust me, it's better that I don't sing. And when we entered the dense, we noticed a woman standing among the trees. Hello, Bartek, she said.
Hello, Bartek.
Hello,
She
Bartek.
was studying. Hello.
Hello. The woman looked like she was in her late 30s and was the most beautiful person I'd ever seen. She had a perfect hourglass figure, long braids, and the most stunning cheekbones. Her eyes, slightly slanted, were a weird shade of blue, deep, almost purple. They seemed familiar. She's one of them. And she was looking straight at me.
Her eyes were hypnotizing.
Yeah.
Her eyes were hypnotizing.
Yeah. I stood there transfixed. Hello, Elspeta Danvalen, answered Bartek. I could hear something in his voice. Was it fear, respect, anger? I couldn't place it. She smiled. I'm Lisa, she said, looking at Anaya, then at me. And you must be Bartek's pen pal, I assume, the one who's searching for her ancestry.
How did she know?
Well, Bartek probably told her, or, people heard rumors. Lisa asked whether I'd like to hear what I'd seen and how long we were planning to stay. Do you mind if I join you? She asked.
I noticed Bartek anytime. Sure, I didn't mind.
Sure, Smells?
Yeah.
I was about to force...
What's up, Smitty? I dare you to play Outlast. Yeah, I don't mind
in
that.
that direction. She lifted the basket. Is that super scary?
Yeah, Outlast is like really scary.
Like jump scary scary.
Yeah, like it
then
was
no,
like,
it's not going to be a dual stream. Nope,
like,
no dual stream.
It's like in the
No.
dark, and then like when you
Nope.
see lights,
Nope.
like monsters coming in.
Nope, you got nope. Done. No. I was about to forge. You can. Some old plans in that direction. She lifted the basket she was holding in her hand.
Alana Reed, thanks for coming out, Alana Reed. Battle cry.
What?
Iceman.
Iceman!
Yeah, Iceman, Smitty. Smitty's like, get the popcorn.
Oh, pop, that sounds good.
Yeah, popcorn does it.
We walked the narrow path. That's your only choice.
Alright,
Click it.
the narrow path.
The path was too narrow for all of us to walk together, so at some point I found myself walking with Lisa. She would squat from time to time and collect some herbs. Why is she So, you're looking for your roots? No, like her family roots.
Right, yeah.
She said after a while, why? It was none of her business. I need to know the whole story. I couldn't resist a mystery.
So what do you think?
I needed to know the whole story.
Inspiring. So like we're almost like full inspiring.
There's a story here and I need to hear it, I answered honestly. Sit down with me. She nestled among the roots of an old tree, reached into her basket and took out a blunt. Let's have a smoke and I'll tell you a story. She noticed when I hesitated. You need to hear it. Are you taking it?
Yeah, I took
Of course.
Hell yeah, I'm taking it.
Tangled roots. Oh.
Smoke. Oh, I see extreme clouds.
From what I learned from Bartek's grandma, you're asking the wrong questions about the wrong people. I decided to cut to the chase. What should I be asking about the forest? Her voice was so soothing. Yeah, I should be asking about the forest, I sighed. This is tainted land, girl, she continued. So much blood was spilled that who's this girl almost lost her mind. I have no idea. One of her words was one of the words for the forest. Polish had lots of those, but she used it in a weird. Why do you call it the forest? Because this, I don't even know. Isn't lost the right word? I call her because she's a proper name. She huffed. Lost is to Pasiska, so dog is to wolf. Domesticated, enslaved, used. Pasiska is a prime evil forest, one untouched by humans, primal, strong, and feared. There was admiration in her voice when I realized that the word sounded like a rustle of leaves, like the wind. Puska. Hopefully I said that right.
Yeah.
As I was retelling you, almost went mad, and it's not wise to wake those spirits, especially not now. What?
But I needed an answer. I wasn't afraid to stir up.
What'd you just pick?
I wasn't afraid to stir up.
What do you mean the spirits of the past? I shrugged. I'm not afraid to stir up some memories. She looked at me with those uncanny eyes. Her gaze was almost unbearable, hard, with anger smoldering somewhere deep within. It was ready to jump at my throat, and then suddenly something changed. Lisa sighed heavily. You have no idea, do you? About what?
About the past?
I don't care. What do you mean? I asked. So you have no idea who you are? She stated. Nobody told you that what it was like during the war and after that. Her eyes lost focus as though she was looking at something only she could see. In 1939, when the war broke out, first came the Germans and the Russians. You know, they actually worked together. Stalin never forgot that he was beaten by the Poles in 1920. She shot me a glance. Oh, I don't know. Don't lose it. I don't think we want to lose our only willpower.
Yeah.
So go. You're gonna have to go high.
Just say I was bored?
Well,
I mean, I don't want to piss her off.
True. Okay, then do it. Oh, you should just heard the music.
Yeah.
I didn't really care. I nodded politely, but I nodded politely. Oh, you have no idea what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter, really. She took a drag. Anyway, with many millions of lives later, Stalin and Hitler stopped sleeping together. So to speak, the Germans came, and then the Russians again. And then the forest, and then there were the forest soldiers. I nodded so she would continue. The forest part got my attention.
That's crazy. Alright, nice meeting you, BRB.
They started as Polish soldiers, but the war ended. They became guerrillas to fight the Russian occupation, and they ended up as desperate bandits. She sighed. For the people who lived here, they were all the same. Germans, Russians, forest soldiers. They killed, they maimed, they tortured and burned villages. It didn't matter what language they spoke. I'm sorry I touched her arm. I didn't know that it was all so tangled. My great-grandparents were from here, she sighed. After the war, there were some changes, and my whole family was sent to Siberia to die. My grandmother was the only one who survived, and she met a Burat shaman, and here I am. But your story is tangled with all of this. She looked straight at me. The forest has seen it all, and has made people do things.
Then the weed hit me.
Yeah, well, that's your option.
There you go, that's funny.
Well,
That's so powerful for me. I wonder if she had spiked it. Try to stay focused.
you don't have willpower, so you have to.
Right. What has she done?
I tried to stand, but the flux of smells and sounds and visions hit me like a wave, and suddenly I was somewhere else. We were all sitting at a fire, deep in a disgust, and a decision was reached. Tomorrow we are going to burn a village.
What? Tell stories a better time.
I'm playing on a battered guitar and singing old songs. The others sing with me. The last quiet moments before the storm. In the darkness among the trees, wolves gather and listen to my voice. When I came to my senses, Lisa was still looking at me. If I understand what you're saying, I looked at her. Something from my family's past cast a shadow on my future. She shrugged. I told you everything I know. If you want more, talk to my girlfriend. We'll be at the lodging site tomorrow.
Yeah, good idea. Ooh, see, that's a willpower.
See, I get you willpower.
Yeah, see? So we're progressing.
The forest was whispering to your grandfather. I will, I said. Now I finally knew who and what to ask. There you are, Bartek waved. I thought I lost you. I said my goodbyes to Lisa and we went back.
See, that's pretty cool. And then we still got the bison statues watching. So yeah, so we only got one village center.
Go.
Thanks everybody for stopping out, man. Welcome to the stream.
The bird of many colors. Such a nice village, exclaimed Denaya as we walked along such a quiet street. Nothing moved, the heat was stifling. I was bored, the village was really quaint. I enjoyed the walk. It's quaint, I carefully admitted. Isn't that a nice way of saying it's a shithole? Bartek made a disgusted face and we burst out laughing. Oh, that's a creepy laugh. Let's get something to drink, I proposed in parts. The local store was a large mini-mart with all kinds of goods, from beer and vegetables to notebooks and pens. There was a bench near the entrance. Ew! On a few local drunks. There's like people laughing. It's creepy. They looked like they wanted to start a fight, and something just growled. When I stared down at them, they just averted their eyes and pretended there was nothing to see other than cheap alcohol. So, does everybody else know who she is?
Probably should I growl at him?
I mean, if you want to, they were growling at you.
I decided to tease him.
Yeah, do yeah. I straightened up and added an extra sway in my hips. Now they're laughing. But I was sure their eyes were on me. I flipped them the bird and went inside. Did you really have to do that? Bartek shook his head. We spent some time inside browsing the Latvian, Lithuanian, and Belarusian goods. Why, there was almost nothing Polish here, and who in their right mind drinks coriander soda? I was putting the soda back on the shelf when I heard a commotion coming from outside. Loud voices. Some slurs, some curses, and clear, mockingly polite. I'm so sorry, darlings. I don't understand. Do you like my skirt? Oh, fuck, Bartek murmured. I looked outside and there was someone standing next to the drunken yard's bench. They were definitely not local. The person was old, not helpless, grainy old, but old, with deep wrinkled face, narrow mouth. They had a unisex grace of a tired hair and preserved rockman. Their shoulder length, disheveled hair completed the look.
They looked at their style, they looked at a place.
Looked at a place. They looked like they had teleported from a different planet. They had a clean shave and eyes highlighted with eyeliner. Their nails were painted a bright blue. They wore heavy army boots and an outrageously red skirt and tank top and lots of loaded jewelry. And on their bag there were pins, lots of pins, all kinds of LGBTQA plus flags, anarchist and pacifist symbols, and I think some German band stripes.
Probably my mom would have told me to stay out. Yeah, what's up, Toxic? Who's coming out, Toxic Bait? What up?
Oh, don't get involved. My mother always told me you keep getting into trouble, you don't want to get, the voices are creepy in this. You don't want to get into trouble abroad when there's no one to help
So
you.
I have to pick the higher rate.
Yeah. I zeroed in on the drunkards. What are you thinking? You're doing, I asked in Polish. This was a sentence I heard a lot as a child. Sorry, I don't speak Polish. They looked at me surprised. They hesitated as if someone was whispering into their ears, coaxing them to violence, and my appearance made the voice shut up. Who the hell are you? Asked one of them, who seemed to be the leader of the group.
Punch them?
Sure, why not? Start a fight.
Yeah, let's start a fight.
I'm the girl who broke your nose, I answered with a grin. What? I punched him.
Hey.
Then I broke his nose.
Ah.
Maya shouted and I was shocked, but I didn't listen to her. This wasn't my first rodeo. I got into fights all the time.
I love fighting.
I loved getting into fights, actually. It was the only way I really could get my heart pumping, my body, and the adrenaline in my veins, and the enemy under my fist. It's a glorious feeling. The stranger in the red skirt also wasn't new to such situations. I could only admire the way they used their heavy army boots. We kicked asses, or our opponents had broken bottles. So if you pick that one, you lose a health. But if you kick their ass, then you lose your one willpower again.
What do you think?
I don't know. I am kind of torn because I kind of want you to kick their ass, or her to kick
I
their ass.
know, but if we kick their ass, then we lose.
But you're gonna get hurt if you lose a health.
Right.
Okay, broken bottles.
Broken bottles?
Do it.
That means we got our ass kicked.
I know, so then kick their ass. Ryan Warner says, hi Milltime, how are you?
Hey, what's up, Ryan Warner? Thanks for coming out, sir. Yeah, me and Mrs.Milltime, we're doing a dual stream tonight. Just having some fun. We're drinking some wine. Just having a good super Saturday.
Oh, Iceman said there's a Silent Hill game, but he doesn't know much about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'd be cool. Well, there's nothing
We punched, we ducked, we kicked. Some blades and knuckles, a small price paid for victory, but before anything serious could happen, there was a piercing, irritated shout. Hey! Hey! Someone said something from behind our backs. The voice was loud and piercing, and there was something about it that made the men stop immediately. It made me pause as well, but the stranger in the red skirt seemed to stop out of politeness, not because of the sheer power of the voice. It was Lisa. What the F is going on here? Kim, are you insane? And you, she pointed a finger at the men. You should stop drinking that moonshine. It makes you pick fights you can't win. I was sure the drunks would attack her, but they just slumped down. But look at this, one of them said, gesturing toward us. For the last fucking time, her name's Lisa. She was furious, and this is my friend, and we're here to leave them alone. The drunkards mumbled and went back drinking. Thanks, Lisa, Kim said in English. You shouldn't have. Oh, but I wanted to.
I waved at her.
Hi, Lisa. I waved at her. I think I saw relief in her eyes when she looked at me. Hi, I was worried you've gotten yourself into trouble. So will you join me at the anti-logging protest tomorrow? Sure. Wait, isn't this place like a national park? I asked. Why are they logging? You'd think they'd leave the oldest in the continent, the beating heart alone, wouldn't you? She looked at me with a grim expression. It's illegal logging here, and I had chipped in. Wood is money. There's plenty of wood in this forest. Suddenly, a feeling rushed over me. I was burning or I was cold. I couldn't see the forest from here, but I felt very aware of his presence. I also felt something else deep in my stomach sprang through my veins. Anger. Like a wave of heat coming from the heart of the dark, ancient forest. A word appeared in my mind, a strange one that was neither Polish nor English. Calgary. Lisa looked at him. Calgary? Lisa looked at me and then I spat on the ground. I'd eat those greedy bastards alive. It felt like I was being watched, and when I looked up, I saw Kim observing me with curious expression. We haven't been properly introduced, they said in a soft voice. I looked at them and realized they were much more than what they first seemed. Under their colorful attire lurked something else, something primal. Why are you looking at me like that? I asked. I know you have strange dreams, they whispered. I suspect the forest is reaching out to you. They leaned closer. The forest has chosen you. The words were like punch to the gut. I can see it in your eyes. I didn't want to hear it.
I already used the willpower.
Yep, so... Bullshit, I whispered back through clenched teeth. You know this, how the stories work, they said, looking at me in the eyes.
Oh, there you go.
You'll figure it out.
So I'll get one willpower back.
Yeah. My nose keeps itching, sorry. Felt a sudden urge of confidence. I wasn't making that up. There was something strange connecting me to the forest. There were people who knew what was going on. Before I could ask more, Anaya and Bartek approached, and Kim shook their head. And Kim shook
Brian
her
Warner said, "Hey, Mrs.Milltime."
Hi, Brian Warner. Meet us tomorrow at the logging site. They blew me a kiss and put their arm around Lisa and walked away.
Hope you have a great night playing the game off for Christy and Jeremy's live. All right, Robert, have a good night, man.
They just
Decided to leave as well.
yeah.
Alright, so that was it. So that was all.
Kept looking over my shoulder, but no one was following us. We called it a day and went back.
Alright, so that should be all the spots downtown.
Oh, lordy. The B&B was quaint. I left Anaya and Bartek outside. They looked like they needed some time alone to say their goodbyes. When I got out of the shower, Anaya was back, smiling, a little flustered. What a day, she smiled. What do you think? I made a quick mental inventory of everything that happened. They were cutting down the forest. I remembered the scene at the shop. I mentioned the graveyard. I told her that what happened when I talked to Lisa.
Oh, what should I say?
Oh. Ay.
What do you think? I think it's either like number 1 or number 4.
If you tell her 1, then that would explain why if you go tomorrow. But if you tell her 4, then you're going to have to explain a little bit more. Go. I'm fine with whatever one.
I'm just gonna go.
Can't believe they're logging here. I shook my head. Isn't the forest on UNESCO? Oh, list or something? Yeah, I know. I wanted to check out this protest tomorrow. People were talking about it, and I thought maybe we could go there tomorrow. Or the sandstone. Something weird happened when I was talking to Lisa. I think it was her joint, but I saw things. It looked like from the past, like from your past. For a second, I searched for words to explain to her, but I couldn't really. I think it was my grandpa. It's hard to say, but sure was weird. I shrugged, ending the topic. Okay. Remember the shop? The tensions almost seemed unnatural. I don't think people in Poland normally pick fights so easily, but maybe they just envied Kim's style, and I tried to joke, but she seemed worried. What happened there? The people are still vandalizing my family's grave. What did my grandfather do? She put out her hand in my folder. Whatever it was, it's not your fault.
What up, King Matt? Yeah, I'm doing good, man. Hope you're doing good.
But it wasn't, but it could be my responsibility.
I didn't feel like talking.
You know what? I'm seriously tired. Let's call it a day, shall we? Soon we were both in our beds, ready to sleep. I was tired, but sure excited, and the excitement was the best for everyone. I lay there for a while, thinking about everything that had happened and what might happen next. The wind was open. From the open window leapt over my skin as I watched the silver rectangle painted on the wall by the moonlight. I started to search, and unfortunate, but I got to know. Okay.
Next day, I was glad to see the forest.
Get you more willpoint, yep. Start of my search wasn't really fortunate, but I got to know so many things, so the next day I was going to see the forest itself. I felt that the answers I was looking for were within the reach. I just had to go, logging protests, meet the right people, and make them talk. After a long while, all those thoughts became bleary, and they slowly started to turn into pictures, sounds, and colors. I drifted off.
Alright, yeah, that sounds good. Hey,
Yeah.
What was Andrew's back? Hey, thanks, King Matt. Yeah, do you want me to call it?
Yeah, I'm fine with it, because I'm thinking this is going to be like the end of the chapter.
Yeah, it's like that.
Here, I'll let you do that.
Alright, guys. Yeah, we're just gonna call it a night here. This is me and Mrs.Milltime. We got like a good stream in for tonight. At least we got started on the game. But I really appreciate you guys for coming out and showing the support. At least I got to 3 games today, and we just had a lot of fun. So yeah, thanks for coming out. Appreciate all you guys. And on behalf of me and Mrs.Milltime, thanks for coming out. And we'll see you guys next time. GG's, guys. Peace. Peace out, homie.